you all to the public meeting of the East Norriton Township Board of Supervisors. I'd like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I have a roll call, please?
Matt Brown, Chief, please.
Krista Hyman, Township Engineer.
Cindy King, Director of Finance.
Jeff Winterbottom, Assistant Manager. Bob Hart, Township Consultant.
Kyle Miller, Solicitor's Office.
Kevin McKevitt, Supervisor.
Samuel Coleman, Vice Chair, Supervisor.
Joe McManus, Supervisor.
Patricia Mark, Supervisor.
And Laura Rivera, Chairwoman. I would like to announce that immediately preceding this meeting, the board met in executive session to discuss matters of personnel and litigation. On to our next agenda item. I would like to approve the regular meeting minutes from our last meeting, October 28th, 2025. Has the board had a chance to review those?
Yes.
Any questions or concerns? Would anyone like to make a motion to approve those?
I'll make that a form of motion.
Second.
Thank you, Supervisors McDevitt and Coleman. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Next on the agenda, I'm excited to have Superintendent Dormer here to present the Norristown Area School District Facilities Master Plan, which we're all very excited to hear about. It's going to impact our youngest residents, which are the future of our township and our community. So thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you. Good evening, Chairwoman Rivera. Thank you to the Board of Supervisors Administrative Team for some time this evening. I'm going to try to keep it brief because I know it is holiday week, and I'm going to try not to let my enthusiasm and the depth of this type the meeting too long, but I appreciate the opportunity to provide an overview. We're very, very excited and proud to share an overview with the East Norriton Township and all of our residents, an overview of our facility management plan. We also want to recognize Jeff Cardwell, our Chief Operations Officer, who is taking really the architectural and construction lead. Mike Miller, our Chief Financial Officer, who has the plan to pay for it all, to keep tax increases. Right now, no tax increases to pay for the first 3 phases, which I'll share this evening. So if we go to the next slide, again, trying to just a couple slides of information, lots of good pictures. Why is this the right time for our facility master plan? So anyone who's been around our Area School District, we have a very long history. We have beautiful old buildings, keyword old. And old buildings, as beautiful as they are difficult to maintain. And because of past financial difficulty of the school district, we've not been able to keep up with regular maintenance modernization efforts. As our finances have improved and with the Commonwealth Court ruling that is driving significant new dollars to our school district, the time is right to make up and really significantly invest for the children of East Norriton, West Norriton, and Norristown with a facilities master plan. So go to the next slide. Over the past 3 years, we've been working on the plan. There we go. So real quick, just want to go over about 3 years of development went in with bringing in administrators, parents, staff members, board members, community organizations, community members. Here's the scope of, that our board approved about a year ago that we're going to be working on for probably the next 8 to 12 years. First and foremost, we talked about the deferred maintenance, probably 20, 30 years of deferred maintenance, taking care of those high priority things that keep us warm, safe, and dry with some immediacy. We're looking at getting those done in the next 2 years. Norristown Area High School, our flagship, where all of our high school students go, we're going to do a full renovation, and we're going to construct a new addition that we're going to talk about a little bit later. To address some short-term space needs, we're going to be looking at additions at Hancock Elementary School, Colmanor right here in East Norriton. We're going to talk about that and get our admin team over here ready for our team coming to get some approvals on that through a prefabricated construction process, which allows us to accelerate construction and also do so at a fraction of the cost, which is really, really exciting. We're looking at a full middle school reconfiguration to go from 3 middle schools to 2. Eisenhower being resized to be a 5th and 6th grade center, and East Norriton here in East Norriton Township will be reconfigured for our district 7th and 8th grade center. And then Bloxham Middle School, beautiful but turning 100 years old next year, would be fully replaced and with a brand new K-4 elementary, and we renovate all of our buildings to get them modern, new, and places where kids will be excited to go. So all of this is not going to happen overnight. I know when we went through the process, families said, well, if I have a kindergartner come in are they going to see construction for their entire life? The answer is no. We're actually going to work in reverse order because our most pressing space needs are at the high school. So that project actually is going to be shoveled in the ground this June. And then from there, we'll do our middle school phase and then our elementary phase. But all told, we're looking at probably 8 to 12 years to get all the work done as funding is available. And as again, we get really good contractors who can do quality work for our community. All told, in today dollars, we're looking at an investment of $350 million. That is a significant investment in the community. We believe with the dollars we've already seen of increased state funding from the state and what is promised to us, another $40 million plus as a result of that Commonwealth Court ruling, we're going to be able to do this with a little to no tax increase to our community and do everything that we talked about and end up in 8 years with beautiful, modern, brand new facilities and classroom learning environment for our students. So we go to the next slide. We have 3 phases in progress right now. The first one I talked about was a prefabricated construction where we're not talking trailers. We were talking about a company that will build these offsite in Carlisle, and we'll bring them in modular pieces and put them together. We're talking concrete, steel, wood, very traditional construction, but they can do it in about half the time. So instead of school construction typically being a 36-month process, we're doing it in 18, and we're going to have full occupancy of the 3 sites coming this summer already. So if we go to slides, there's some pictures of what we're looking about. And most importantly to our supervisors is Coleman Elementary School, where we ran out of kind of functional space a couple years ago. So here's the current aerial. If you go to the next slide, you'll see we're talking about a 25% increase in square footage. If you go to the next slide, it'll give you a zoom in. 8 brand new full-size large classrooms, 2 bathrooms and a staff space and a flex space in there. If you go to the next slide, you'll show that we're looking at really modern, flexible classroom design. We're going to be partnering with Corbett, which is really an education. They lead the industry now in modern classroom design. And again, this is just a quick schematic of that. And if you want to see that we're talking about real construction, if you go to the next slide, here are some initial renderings of what the addition is going to look like. It's going to blend beautifully with the building, not stick out like a sore thumb, but as you're seeing, everything is concrete, steel, wood, fiber cement panels. This is a facility that we've been told is going to last 40 to 50 years without any need of any renovation. So we're talking not only getting this turned around quickly, but long-term investment for our community. Likewise, if you go to the next slide, we're going to do a similar process over Hancock, over in the municipality. There again, next slide, they're going to get about the same, about 26% square foot. Same version of this. And again, whereas you see the 11 modules, so they will build this in a factory and slice it into 13-foot wide by 75-foot long pieces. Tractor trailer, put it together, seam it, and they promise us everything's going to be watertight and beautiful. So if you go to the next slide, again, you see the classroom layout. Next one shows the exterior renderings of Hancock, and if you've ever seen that school, again, we're matching the exterior of the building quite beautifully. The administration building is our 3rd site where we have cabinet members and supervisors doubling up in offices. That's how pressed we've been in our office space. So next slide, you'll see we're talking about 8,000 new square foot. There, we're talking a 2-level addition here. And again, you'll just see some of the new spaces that are coming. And the next slide, again, shows the interior of some of the modern office spaces. And the next slide shows the exterior of the building. With that, we're going to talk about what's going to be probably the most significant project is North Center High School. This is going to be a traditional construction process. We're talking adding nearly 60,000 new square feet. Right now, there's 26 classrooms, brand new music spaces, new athletic spaces. This is going to be a traditional 3-year timeline of construction. 2 years to build the new, and then 1 year to complete the remaining renovation. We are on track right now for a summer, this June. June 11th, the day after kids there, we're looking to be shoveling the ground to get the project going. Just to give you a little bit of the scope of what we're talking about, what's going to be new at the high school, if you go to the next slide. Here is everything you see here in light green and blue. Everything in light green is going to be brand new to the building. Everything in blue is going to be heavily renovated as we look to reimagine and recapture the spaces. We're excited here. If you take a look at the red areas here, we're using words like the plaza and the promenade and the amphitheater. We're getting fancy all of a sudden here in Norristown, folks. But again, when you look at new high schools, these are the things that kids and families get to enjoy. So if you go to the next one, again, just showing the 3 floors in terms of the new square footage. So this is our 1st floor, the addition, the 2nd floor on the next slide, Third floor, the next slide, and then most importantly, what is the exterior going to look like? Here are the renderings of what the campus is going to look like. You can see again the beautiful amphitheater area and the significant, beautiful new addition. A couple more pictures in the next 2 slides just to show. The new main entrance, again, is just absolutely visually stunning. From there, I think the next one's a straight-on view. So the current building right now, the entrance is under here. This is the library will remain. We're going to pick up office space and again, a much more stunningly beautiful rendering of the new one. And then I think the last picture is the new athletic area on the far side of the building. 2 just more quick updates on the last 2 slides. Again, thank you for the time and my passion here. If we go to the next slide. Where are we in this? So we are in great shape in terms of this past September, the board approved us to go out to borrow the first $105 million to pay for the construction that is needed. We had an exceptionally successful bond sale in October. We borrowed $40 million for the initial phases and our bond rating held. So looking at the guys over there, you know it's rare when you go borrow a lot of money. Usually they bump your bond rating down, and we're able to maintain our bond rating, which is great. We do know we're going to have to go probably early next year for a subsequent bond issuance, so that we're ready to go high school. But what is most important is this last slide is over the past 2 budgets, I want to thank Mr. Miller for his work. We've already built all the debt service in. For the first 3 phases are going to cost about $135 million in new investments. It's going to cost taxpayers not a new penny of a tax increase because we've already loaded that into our budget. We've been incrementally doing this, and as we've gotten new state money, we've prepared for this debt. So we're very, very, very excited that we're able to deliver in short order some brand new renovations and buildings, and no one's going to see their tax bills go up by any of this construction, at least for these first 3 phases. We need to keep on the state. They need to continue with years 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the adequacy supplements we've got to make sure that we can pay for the remainder of the projects without any tax increases. So very simply, my last bit of information, what do we need from East Arlington? Partnership. We're going to be coming to you in very short order for help with land development and permits and zoning. And just anything we can do that we can celebrate this work together as just a major investment for our community. We look forward to providing future updates and having them out with us as the work begins and continues. So with that, I'm going to open up for any questions for myself and Mr. Cardwell and Mr. Miller.
This is exciting.
I think you hear my excitement, and I don't think I stuck to the 7 minutes, so I got to apologize for that. You told me I had 5 to 7, so. We're super excited. This has been a long time coming for the community, and we're just very, very proud that we can deliver absolute top-notch quality, and we're going to match what many other school districts are doing right now with exciting building projects, and we get to deliver this after too many years of just letting our buildings go while we were trying to keep the doors open.
I didn't see, and apologies if I missed it, I'm sure it was made public, but Roosevelt campus, what is the future of that site?
As of now, Roosevelt campus is going to continue to operate as that second small supportive campus. Just to give you supervisors up to information, we did sell the Roosevelt Field to the municipality of Norristown, and they're actively redeveloping that. I believe the last I heard is going to be their new rec center and a full redevelopment with an artificial turf surface and a full 6 or 8 lane all-weather track, I think, are planned for that facility. I heard a pool, but that was a while ago. So again, just a great investment for the community. We've also worked as part of that sale that the school district is going to have some usage rights there as our athletic programs begin to build. With our middle school right down the street, we're looking forward to getting some more all-weather surfaces like the turf there available for our students.
And I think I saw the renovations at Cole Manor don't affect, I guess, the usage of the Little League fields, right?
It's the other side of the building.
Other side of the building.
Sure.
Does it affect that outdoor classroom that's there?
It doesn't. Actually, the Triumph Modular Company is doing the construction. They were very, very thoughtful. Based on the kitchen project we just did, they took all the feedback we got from the last time we came for permits and zoning, incorporated all that, so we were ready to go through all the steps we need to, but we think we already have a lot of what the potential questions are already answered with setbacks and all the stormwater and all the things we believe are already attended to. So that they were looking literally to foundation work probably February to March, and they'll start installing the new addition March. And they told us sometime between June 22nd and July 10th, we'll have full occupancy of that 12,000 new square feet, which is phenomenal.
I think it's early stages, so I don't think our township engineers have had a chance to review any of these plans, but so far, do you see anything that's of concern?
Not based on what was presented, no.
And do we have, have we been in touch with other school districts who have worked with the same construction company with the prefabricated building pieces and?
We have, so we actually are the first K-12 in Pennsylvania working with this company. They've done work up in New York State.
They've done work for Harvard University, they built the Ed Hodge Daycare Center in Eastern University, and they have done work down in the Baltimore area.
So I'll just give you guys two numbers. I'm happy to share more information, more detailed things for the administrative team. We loved everything, and we're going through all of our sign-offs right now. We can vouch for it's real steel, it's real concrete, it's wood, it's plasterboard. And this is not going to be some, shell of a school that's going in. What drew us from a school district was we're doing this project on about 50% of the timeline, and we're coming in at 45% of the cost of a traditional construction project. There are great opportunities for local labor, excavation. There is, once the modulars get there, they still have to build the connector pieces. There'll be electrical work, construction work, plumbing work, and again, the excavation work that will all be sourced locally as part of this project.
I would just add, Mr. Jarvis.
Please, Mr. Harwell, thank you.
The Kimmel Architectural Group, Rich Powers, he has done work with all three municipalities, so he's very familiar with the requirements coming out of East Norriton here.
Any other questions for the school? Yeah, we really appreciate you being here tonight, and excited to see the projects unfold.
Our pleasure. We'll keep our dates. We love to celebrate as we hit those benchmarks, and love to come to invite you out for Tickle Full Manor. Once we're underway on site, we'd love to have it when we come to the ribbon cutting. Love to have you come celebrate with us.
Selfishly, because I just came from there tonight, where does East Norriton Middle School fit in the timeline?
Middle school will be, we will probably start the development phase of that in the next 18 months. We want to be ready as soon as the high school new construction starts, and we go shovel in the ground in the middle school projects. We're probably looking 28, probably fall, summer of 28 to start on both Eisenhower and East Norriton simultaneously. That's going to be the big trigger phase for a lot, but we're excited. We're probably looking at a 40% square foot increase over at East Norriton. There's about 900 students there right now. The building can go to 11. We're going to need capacity for somewhere between 1,250 and 1,400, depending on where our enrollment goes over the next couple of years.
Okay.
We're lucky that we have a big piece of land there, and again, it's all going to fit.
So
Somehow,
Mr. Trujillo, any chance of an auditorium being part of that?
So I think one of the
I'm
non-negotiables
parents who have had to sit on bleachers for multi-hour concerts.
Chairwoman Rivera, I will say that the two things when we look at those two schools, we know we're going to have to do a new cafeteria at Eisenhower, and we know we're going to have to do an auditorium meeting up at East Norriton School as part of this project.
Very cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Of course, you're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting. Okay, citizens to be heard. There will be another opportunity toward the end of the agenda. Comments by the Board of Supervisors. Okay.
All right, we'll start with old business. Award the bid for decommissioned police equipment. I'd like to call on our Chief of Police, Matt Brannon, to review this item.
Thank you, Supervisor Cabanas. In the October 28th meeting, the Board of Supervisors approved the sale of three pieces of East Norriton Police Department's decommissioned equipment. That was 2 sound-off signal Apex emergency light bars with 1 controller. That was placed on municipal bid with the highest bidder, Junar Al-Karhi, out of Chester, PA, for $51. We had previously attempted to sell these items and got nothing, so we're taking this as a success and requesting permission to move forward and award the items to the highest bidder.
Municipal takes like they're like eBay, they take like a percentage of the sale, or do we have to pay to quote? I'm just curious.
It's a good question. I don't have the answer on that one, so.
Okay. I hope it's not more than $51.
No, we will not be a loss. no.
Okay, awesome. Any other questions? All right. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve that award?
Second.
Thank you, Supervisors Coleman and Cabanas. All in favor? Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries.
Okay, next item on the agenda is East Norton Township 2026 budget presentation. I'd like to call on Director of Finance, Cindy Kay.
Thank you, Supervisor Devitt. I am hoping I'm not limited to 5 minutes, but I will do my best to keep it as short as
Now,
possible.
we'll cut you a break on that.
Okay, thank you. As always, my goal is to keep it shorter than Dave did. So we'll go over the changes that we have made since the October meeting. So this is the newest and greatest version of the budget that we have. Just as a recap, the goals of the board have been to have no tax increase, to minimize the use of reserves in order to balance the budget, to be good stewards of the township financial resources, and enhance East Norton Township for its residents and visitors. Again, just quickly, some of our highlights, I won't dwell on any of these. We reviewed this last month, the Stanbridge Street Park improvements, expanded recreation program and trips, administrative office phone system upgrade, the Germantown Pike signal improvement project, ongoing stormwater management improvements, vehicle replacement, which is ongoing every year, traffic control improvements. The senior recreation highlights were Bingo Madness Mondays, Senior Card Club, the lecture series, movie matinees, the walking club, and bocce ball. And then recreation highlights were concerts in the park, the bus trips, the Easter egg hunt, community day, trunk or treat, holiday tree lighting, summer camp program, and the youth basketball league. So several years ago, the Board of Supervisors established 4 guiding principles that all departments are expected to follow during the budget process. First is to strive to be good stewards of the township's resources, financial and otherwise, ensuring that we work to preserve and enhance the assets of the township. Second, it was to recognize and appreciate the trust the public has put in the board, and operating with the highest integrity is crucial to maintaining that trust. Third, to treat everyone with respect, residents especially, but also vendors, contractors, and all others. And finally, to work cooperatively with residents and businesses, working toward making East Norton Township the best it can be. So with that, in 2026, we have made some adjustments from where we were last month. We had quite a bit of deficit at the October meeting, but that was because we had an all-inclusive, everything involved budget. So if we talk about some of the revenue assumptions that we used to create the 2026 budget, and in this case, we are talking just simply, the next few slides will be simply referring to the township's general fund, which is our largest operating fund. We refer to that as our brick and mortar, and the one that we use to pay the utilities, keep the lights on, pay the bills, pay employees, all of those types of things. At the top, you'll see a breakdown of our major revenue categories, while the chart below visually displays the same information, adding in the percentage makeup of each category. As you can see, property taxes and Act 511 taxes make up the vast majority of our revenue. Act 511 taxes accounting for 62% of total revenue, and property taxes accounting for 16%, together totaling 78% of our revenue. It's important to note that while a property owner may feel they are paying a lot in property tax, only a small portion of that is paid to East Norton Township. In this example, a property with an assessed value of $178,655 of assessed value, that's not actual value, In that scenario, $487 would be paid to East Norriton Township, $939, or almost double that, to Montgomery County, and $7,704 to the Norristown School District. And to put it in dollars and cents, the average resident pays $487 in property tax to the township, which provides them with road maintenance, yard waste collection, leaf collection, police protection, and recreation facilities and programs for events. And while we're not trying to disparage the other taxing entities by showing these numbers, but we are trying to illustrate to our residents that they receive a lot of services for the amount of taxes that they pay. And if we, going back to the revenue assumptions chart, you can see our main source of revenue comes from the Act 511 taxes. These consist of real estate transfer tax, which has been declining over the past 4 years, mainly due to the increase in interest rate and home prices. There has been, at some point, sort of a slow in the housing market. I do believe the trend is that that is beginning to pick up again, so we'll see where that heads in the future. Earned income tax, this tax was low during the pandemic, but it has rebounded over the past couple of years. The business privilege tax, this tax dipped after the pandemic, but is recovering with the opening of a number of new businesses in the township over the past couple of years. The local services tax, that stays somewhat stagnant from year to year, and that's the $2 tax that comes out of someone's pay. That it amounts to $52 a year per resident, or per working, comes out of your pay. And cable franchise fees have unfortunately been continuing to decline annually, which is most likely due to the trend for people to leave cable and go to streaming services. So as we look at our general fund major expenses, this version of, I have 2 versions of this, but this version kind of shows how it will show up on our budget with the different departments and types of things. And that's due to the state reporting that we have to do when we do our audit. However, if we want to get a truer picture of the full cost for each department, I can move the benefits into each department to get a better look at that. And if we do that, you can see here that police are 61% of our budget. The board is definitely puts a high priority on protection to serve the residents. Parks, fire, traffic, road improvements, and other capital projects are paid from other funds. But that gives you a good idea of the major costs of each department. So if we look, actually I'm moving through here fairly quickly. I'm doing pretty good, guys. I'm not going to hit in 5 minutes, but moving faster than I thought I might. So the summary page is intended to give you a sneak peek at where we are currently in the budget process and an overview of all the funds. The highlighted items, the ones highlighted in yellow, they're areas that we're still working on finalizing. We have a meeting with the engineers next week where we'll talk about some of the capital projects. We've already gone through those and spoken to the department heads to see what things are really feasible that we can accomplish in 26 and what we might be able to push out to 27 or 28. We did a lot of work on the general fund, as that is our account for our general operations. In our October version of the budget, we showed over a $2 million deficit in the general fund, and we now have managed to bring that down to around $555,000. So you'll see in the deficit surplus column, those are the annual deficits. Most of these funds have enough fund balance in them to carry us into the next year. So the account, there's enough cash sitting in the account, and even though the revenues for the year are less than the expenses for the year, there is enough cash balance to cover everything. The street light tax fund has a very minor deficit that can also be covered with cash fund balance. The fire protection tax fund has enough cash on hand to cover the proposed annual deficit. We have some work to do in the park and rec fund. Most likely, we will have to take some money from the investment fund in order to support that, so that we have enough funds in there for that department, for that. The police post-retirement health fund, that's used to fund health insurance for retired officers as per regulations that were in effect at the time of the retirement. And it's feasible that this will be exhausted in 2027 or 2028. And then we will have to fully fund that ourselves. We also have the, sorry, I'm getting upstairs stuff. We have an upcoming, I already mentioned the upcoming meeting with the township engineer. Sorry, I'm digressing. The sanitary sewer outfall fund, that's used for the sewer authority bond payment. So roughly there's $441,000 annually from now through 2041 that is due. So we have 16 years of payments that total close to $6.8 million. I did look that up. So we want to be sure that we reserve enough funds from that investment fund in order to cover all of those payments. So at some point we don't find ourselves in a spot where we can't make those payments on the bond. So it may be best for us to segregate that money from the investment fund into a special account strictly designated for that debt service. The traffic impact fee fund is able to cover the proposed annual deficit with the cash it has on hand. The highway aid fund is showing a large annual deficit due to the fact that we opted to postpone our 2025 road program due to time constraints and other ongoing projects that we have in the works. Therefore, we're proposing to push the funding that was set aside for 2025 into the 2026 budgeted figure. So while that looks like the annual deficit is bad, the cash is sitting there because we didn't do the work in 2025. So there's more than enough cash on hand to cover both 2025 and 2026 amounts that we have in our long-range road program. Pensions are what they are as per the policies in place, and they're all showing a surplus for the year. So again, our first version of the budget presented in October showed a total $8.6 million overall deficit. And through the cooperation with our department heads and management, we've narrowed that down to under $1 million overall. So some have a little more than others, but overall we have really worked hard to get that down. So to review our plans for 2026, the following are part of the ongoing project improvements: traffic control management, stormwater management, infrastructure investments, road improvement program, which we did discuss a little further, flood remediation, bridge repairs, admin building maintenance, ongoing vehicle replacement, and to expand the recreation activities. Again, as we talked about in October, some of the budget challenges are the rising costs for capital improvements and purchases, limited development opportunities, and reduced permit revenue. Grants due to the increased competition, so we may not be as likely to get grants as we have been in the past. This township has been very, very fortunate in obtaining grants, and that's really a good thing. So our next steps will be to continue to work on capital projects and meetings with department heads and management as needed, and to, at the December 16th meeting, to adopt the budget. Does anybody have any questions?
Anything that we reprioritized or delayed in the course of refining the budget since the last time we saw it give us heartburn?
No. another, I think, and most of it were just things that, due to time, there's just so much you can do in a year. So we sort of worked with department heads to prioritize what things we thought we could actually accomplish. There were other things that were dependent on grants, and as we sit back and we take a look at that, if we don't have a grant for it already, that is a process in itself, so it would be highly unlikely we'd be able to accomplish it, the actual work in 2026. So the things that we might pursue grants on would fall into the 2027 or 2028 budget.
If I can add a little bit, first of all, I want to thank Cindy and the department heads for putting the time in. There was extra meetings this year, which, you know, really benefited the township as we went through with a fine-tooth comb. We are in the position that we've been in most years. We've fine-tuned it, but we'll continue to fine-tune this and bring back a balanced budget for you in December with the minimal amount of reserves that are needed. Last year, on paper, when we came here, we had, I think, a $700,000 potential shortfall, and by the end of the year, with strong management, I think it was $129,000. So we've done that year after year. It is a lot of work throughout the year, but we work very hard from it. And all of our department heads understand that we look at every dollar, and at the same time, we want to we're committed to keeping our services at a high end and increasing them where we can. So we do that on a regular basis. Fortunately, we've been very fortunate by good stewardship by this board and prior boards haven't raised property taxes since 2009. We are in a position for the foreseeable future that with good stewardship, we should be coming to you with that for the next several years. That's something we're committed to and something that we continue to work hard at every year. That's not to say we don't have, we share this with the school district, we always receive unfunded mandates from the state, which are always a joy to receive. We understand we all have those things that come into play, and we take them just as the school district does. We take them as we get them, and we work through it and do the best we can. So we're in a really good position coming forward with you. We have a strong fund balance. We've raised our fund balance from 10 years ago. I remember when we got here, we had 1.3 million. We are well over 4 million. We have a strong fund balance. We continue to add to that. So we strongly suspect and expect, and you can be assured that we will come to you, and Cindy will come to you with an even tighter budget. Not crazy tight compared to where we're at now, because we've done a lot of work so far. But December, you will have a balanced budget, a reasonable, responsible budget that invests in this township and for our residents to really build a life here and thrive here. So.
And if I could just expand on that very slightly, is part of the reason that we budget the way we do is we sort of budget for the worst case in expenses, and that, knock on wood, does not happen to where you need to use up every single line item. And that's why it always looks a little worse on paper, but in actuality, when you end the year, you don't always use, or you rarely use all of what you have budgeted.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
I don't have a question, I have a comment. I just want to, I know you focused a lot there on Parks and Rec, and I just want to give kudos to them because we provide a lot of programs for our citizens, for our visitors, and we provide them at no charge, most of them, except for the bus trips, things like that. We want to keep it that way. It looks like we're going to struggle on that, I know, for a little bit, but a lot of the programs that we have, especially for the seniors, are free. And I think it's a good thing. Everybody enjoys it, and we want to keep that. So, you know, that there's a challenge there to make sure we have enough in the budget to continue that. But I think that's something that everybody appreciates, and we should, you know, Parks and Rec has done a great job at that, expanding what we have to offer, and still, except for the bus trips, like I said, and certain events to keep them free.
All right. If there are no further questions, would anyone like to move to, or actually, we don't need to vote on that tonight. Yep, it's for December. All right, moving on to new business then.
East Norriton Township, Resolution 2919, a resolution of the Township of East Norriton, Montgomery County, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, United States of America. A proclamation of the Board of Supervisors of East Norriton Township proclaiming the official start of the holiday season in East Norriton Township. Whereas Hillcrest Plaza, the East Norriton Township Board of Supervisors, and the staff of East Norriton Township have once again joined forces to plan the 32nd annual Hillcrest Plaza Holiday Parade. And whereas Hillcrest Plaza Shopping Center has scheduled an afternoon of activities and events to kick off the start of the holiday season. And whereas proceeds from the activities and games at Hillcrest Plaza Shopping Center will be donated to Mitzvah Circle. Whereas the Board of Supervisors of East Norriton Township wholeheartedly supports this 32nd annual Hillcrest Plaza Holiday Parade and the festivities held at the Hillcrest Plaza. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Supervisors of East Norriton Township does hereby proclaim the weekend of December 5th, 2025 as the official start of the holiday season in East Norriton Township with the arrival of Santa, the East Norriton Township tree lighting event, and the 32nd annual Hillcrest Plaza Holiday Parade proclaimed this 25th day of November 2025. Thank you.
Riveting as always. Supervisor Mark was getting hoarse just listening to it. But no, it's so exciting, all the events that we have planned for the holidays, and it feels like this is a new East Norriton tradition. Supervisor Coleman announcing the arrival of those holidays. Any questions on that resolution? Would anyone like to move to approve it?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Supervisor. I was like, what are we screwed this here? Is there any hesitation on that one? Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Supervisors McDevitt and Mark. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Good, that motion carries.
Approval of an intermunicipal government agreement between West Norriton Township and East Norriton Township regarding the Norriton Dog Park. I look to call on Assistant Township Manager Jeff Winterbottom to review this item.
Thank you, Supervisor Mark. This agreement is to establish an equitable system for sharing the annual maintenance costs, insurance responsibilities, and future improvement costs related to the Norriton Dog Park. It's a 50-50 agreement between us and West Norriton. And West Norriton promises to give us a cost estimate by the end of October for the following year. And of course, if anything came up that we disagree with, we can talk it out, but it's a pretty basic agreement. I'm more than happy to answer any questions.
Is it budgeted?
That's what I was wondering.
Well, we don't have any costs yet, so it's
Okay.
not budgeted yet.
Okay, but we don't expect it to be onerous.
No,
No.
de minimis.
Okay.
And is it expected to open sometime in 2026?
My guess would be fall 26.
Okay.
That's, but we'll see.
We don't have our usual resident advocate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right. Anyone want to make a motion to approve that intermunicipal government agreement?
Yeah, so moved.
Thank you, Supervisor Coleman. Any seconds?
I'll second.
Thank you, Supervisor Cabanas. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries.
Okay, next item on the agenda is resolution number 2920, authorization of the application for a local share assessment grant. I'd like to call on our township engineer.
Thank you, Supervisor McDevitt. This is a grant that we go after every year. We can request up to $1 million and there's no match. This year we are proposing to, if we get the money, resurface at least 7.5 miles of roadway. So we are asking for you to authorize us to submit that application for an outside grant in the amount of $1 million.
It's interesting that it's called a local share when there's no match.
Yeah, so it's gambling revenue.
Ah,
So
okay.
they're
They're sharing the
sharing
profits, the
yes.
proceeds.
Sharing their despair.
Yeah. Excellent. I would like to put that into a motion.
I'll put that in the form of motion.
Second.
Thank you, Supervisor McManus and Coleman. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries.
Approve a memorandum of understanding between East Norriton Township and United Rentals North America, Inc. I'd like to call on Assistant Township Manager Jeff Winterbottom to talk about that item.
Thank you, Supervisor Hernandez. We are seeking approval to engage in a memorandum of understanding with United Rental for the purposes of emergency management. This MOU will be used during times that we need generators, heaters, AC units, etc., to support operations during power outages, weather events, and other unplanned events. This gives us the ability to place temporary services in place in a timely manner to avoid further impact during an emergency. This is something new. In the past, we've done ad hoc, reaching out to different companies. United is local, and they really handle everything we need, so it's a one-stop shop sort of for us. So it's a solid agreement, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have.
So there's no financial commitment here, it's just an agreement to work together?
Correct.
And do they operate proactively, or are they still on call at our request?
It's on call.
Yeah.
Just depending on what happens, and that's the whole purpose, is for them to react immediately, whereas some other times maybe we struggle with getting the right people out at the right time.
It really came up when we had some power outages during the heat of the summer, where we have several nursing facilities in our township, and sometimes they were talking about moving them outside, some of the patients, because of taking the time to get, so sometimes, and I say this with love, I won't say it to anyone in particular, any organization in particular, but sometimes when they call, they're looking for the best price, potentially, I understand that. We're looking, from an emergency management perspective, getting them cool, getting them warm, doing those such things that are needed. So this MOU will provide us with a more instant action plan to get people safe, comfortable, out of harm's way, and then the facility will be built. Now, hopefully we won't have to use this, because knowing we have this, it will push the owners of different facilities in a quicker manner, but it gives us a tool at the end of the day to come in when needed and protect those vulnerable.
Yeah, and I would just like to say that we used it a few times this summer when they had the electrical storms go through.
Yeah.
And what happened in one case is their generator didn't work.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, we'll call somebody in to fix the generator. Well, 12 hours later, they still hadn't fixed it, and the people were literally outside, and inside the building was about 102 degrees. So we were getting ready to evacuate that building when we were able to get somebody in to bring in portable generators to get things going.
Yeah.
That's great. Sounds like a great idea. Thank you for bringing it forward. Any questions? Anyone want to make a motion?
I'll make that a form of motion.
Second.
Thank you, Supervisor McDevitt and Coleman. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries.
Heroes Park Stormwater Improvement Proposal. I'd like to call on the Township Consultant Robert Hart to review this item.
Thank you, Supervisor Coleman. We had received a grant, watershed restoration grant for $292,000 and some change to do a stormwater project on Heroes Park, the old Calvert Hurdle Park. There are unique challenges in that area that we've had for many years that have really caused a lot of issues at the park, but also out in front of Deer Run at a low point. Fortunately, in the past few years, our Public Works Department did a project down the street which has helped it. But it's been such a problem for so many years. One of our former supervisors, recently resigned Supervisor DJ DeSanto was actually rescued from his car in the flooding there 10 or 12 years ago. So it has improved, but it's not there yet. So we were fortunate to receive this $290-some-thousand project. Before you tonight is an engineering proposal, not to exceed, from Remington Burnick that will do the bidding and monitoring and everything involved in the project. And that is a not to exceed amount of, I had it here, let me see. It is $76,200. We hope not to get anywhere near that. I go back to them very often and say, sharpen that pencil a whole hell of a lot more, because, you know, we need tighter margins here. But that is a not to exceed, and that's before you tonight, so we can get this project started quickly in the spring. That's just
Total aside, Google still has it listed as Calvert Hurdle Park. Is there anything we can do to correct that?
Jeff will call Google tomorrow.
I hear you guys.
No, I understand. To be honest with you, I do understand Calvert Hurdle was the first Parks and Rec director here many, many years ago. We didn't know anyone who knew Calvert Hurdle,
When was it renamed?
And we tried, well, we renamed it a few years ago to Heroes Park, and the whole theme was fire and police, and, but a niece of Calvert Hurdle actually reached out to us at that time, and so we learned a little bit more about it, but that's, yeah, I don't know the answer to that question, but we can look into it.
It has to be about 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it still Calvert Hurdle Park or
It is.
Heroes Park, or is it both?
It is Heroes Park,
Okay.
and has to be Heroes Park, because
That sounds a little.
That's the grant.
part of the money that went through the sign says,
Yes.
so,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, got it, thank you.
gotcha.
Any other questions? More about at once. Hearing none, anyone want to put that into the form of motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Vice Chair Coleman, thank you, Supervisor Cabanas, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries.
Resolution number 2921, authorize East Norton Township to apply for a local share assessment grant. I'd like to call on Township Consultant Robert Brunt to review this resolution.
Thank you, Supervisor Mark. Before you tonight is another LSA grant application. It is, as you know, the fire company came in, and the fire representatives came in and presented some of their long-term needs. And I know we have the fire chief and the fire company vice president on the board, which I know a fair share about this, but they know more, so they can chime in as needed. But there is a new truck that is going to be needed in the future. The problem with it is these trucks at this point are 5 years out from when you order it. It takes 5 years to get it, which is, if you're not planning correctly, it can be a major issue. And when we're talking about fire safety and emergency services, we're talking about life and death potentially. As you know, Deputy Chief Eric Myers came in and presented the need for this new truck. My first thing was go back and find us some money. Because the township obviously is not only supportive of the fire company, we have a duty to provide fire protection services for our residents. But these are $2.3 million trucks, and we need to pool money where we can. And our first order of business is this local share account that we are applying to for $1 million, which is due technically tomorrow because we're off on Friday. So we're getting right under the wire here, but that's what's before you tonight to apply for a local share grant for $1 million to help fund a major fire truck purchase.
Any questions? Anyone want to make a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Vice Chair Coleman.
I'll make a second.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief McDevitt. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries.
Yes, resolution, authorizing the township solicitor to oppose the PA American Water rate. I would like to call on our township consultant, Bob Moore.
Thank you, Supervisor McDevitt, and I know our solicitor, Kyle Miller, can chime in as well. We recently were informed that PA American Water, who supplies the water for East Norton Township, has applied for a rate case to the PUC, Public Utility Commission. Let me say this technically, as clinical as I can. It's insane. It's significant. It's not coming in and asking for a 4% raise. It won't be initially where they're going, but they're extremely aggressive in this request. Before you tonight is authorization to have our solicitor's office monitor this situation and oppose and become a party to the opposition of this in front of the PUC. There'll be a lot more information that comes out shortly about this, but we want to be on top of it from day one. We expect to be joined by hundreds of municipalities around the state opposing this significant increase. I think we all know prices go up, and we all have to pay more at times. 20%, 28%, 30%, that's not doing what you have to do to take care of our communities. And our solicitor's office understands that. They've been contacted by other clients of theirs, I know, to oppose this as well. And that's what's before you tonight. And I don't know if Kyle has anything to add.
I think you summarized it correctly. If the board were so inclined to authorize such representation, we'd be in our appearance on behalf of the township and make sure the best interests of the township are first and foremost.
Any questions? Anyone want to move to authorize?
I will make that motion to authorize our solicitor to monitor and oppose the rate increase of Pennsylvania American Water Company with the Public Utilities Commission.
Second.
I would say thank you, Supervisors Gavaris and Supervisor Mark. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries.
All right. It's always my turn at the end to pay the bills, and we're going to ask Cindy just to summarize those for us.
And thank you, Supervisor Fenn. The bills for the time period of October 28th through November 24th amount to the accounts payable bills of $406,526.56, payroll of $468,880.51, and police asset forfeiture of $22,018.31, which consisted of upfitting for the new police vehicle, training, and SWAT equipment for the police department, for a total of $897,425.38.
Any questions? And make a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
Thank you, Supervisor McDevitt.
Thank you.
Second.
Vice Chair Coleman, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the bills are paid. All right, Mr. Hart, you have 5 to 7 minutes.
I don't think it'll be that long.
We just have our tree lighting coming up. What's the actual date?
Yeah,
I
right.
kept saying the 6th, that's why I want to make sure. The 5th, which is a new location, normally it's down on Germantown Pike, down at the end here. This year, it will be right outside this building. If you go out, you'll see a dark tree, but it won't be dark soon. It's in the process of being put up. It should be, we've outgrown our prior space. So we really look forward to a great event. If you haven't been there, please come. I know we have our school district superintendent and representatives there, which we feel free to stop by. It's the best event around, like we say. We're the better Norton. We do it a little better. We say that with love, but it's really a great event. We really do. Our staff does a great thing with it. Other than that, I really just want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. We look forward to a great holiday season here in East Narden, and we will come back to you. I know we'll be back to you with an even better budget in our December meeting. But thank you for all you do and allowing us to do our job. So we look forward to a great holiday.
And we say hi at the Germantown Pike closure.
We did.
I'm selling t-shirts out of my car.
Yeah, actually, I want to applaud the township for their excellent communication throughout that whole ordeal.
That was
The long week.
It's been rough, but we did it. And then the tree fell down. We closed it for another couple hours, but we figured it out. And I know Vice Chair Coleman is going to go through the upcoming events, but I want to thank everyone who participated in our first ever holiday craft show. Was it last weekend?
great success.
Yes, yeah.
It really was.
Great event, just adding to our repertoire of amazing services and amenities that we provide to our residents and visitors, so thank you. Thank you for that.
I just want to make a comment too. I believe that with the tree lighting on the 5th, we have a choral group, East Norton Middle School choir will be here.
The 6th grade choir this year.
6th grade? Okay, I didn't know that, but I knew they'd be here.
Yeah, looking forward to that. And Santa, I know him. Do you want to cover the upcoming meetings for
All
that?
right, here we go. Tuesday, December 16th, 7 p.m., our Board of Supervisors regular meeting. Wednesday, December 17th, 7 p.m., Planning Commission meeting. Monday, January 5th, 2026, 7 p.m., Board of Supervisors reorganization meeting immediately following the reorg meeting, the regular Board of Supervisors meeting. And then Tuesday, January 6th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m., elected auditors reorganization meeting. Upcoming events, Monday, December 1st, 11 a.m., bingo, please register. Friday, December 5th, 6 to 7:30 p.m., of course, our tree lighting ceremony. Saturday, December 6th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., our holiday parade. Tuesday, December 9th, 6 to 7:30 p.m., pet photos with Santa in the clubhouse, please register. Monday, December 15th, 11 a.m., bingo, please register. Wednesday, December 17th, 10 to 11:30 a.m., card club, please register. Thursday, December 18th, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., movie matinee featuring Candy Cane Lane, please register. Saturday, December 20th, 10 a.m., Santa visits the neighborhood. And Thursday, December 25th, the township building will be closed because it is Christmas. Are we closed early on the 24th or earlier?
We probably let staff out a little early, but we're not there yet. And this is the first year we're doing the pictures with your pets and all, and we're really looking forward to that. Supervisor Cabanas is pet goat. Is ready and, ready and able, so we're looking forward to it. All right.
Citizens be heard. Yes.
My name is Joe Bolsecki, 3301 Kristen Court, corner property loaded with trees. I thank Public Works for the job they do. Otherwise, I'd be home bagging leaves. But the guys are thorough, efficient, patient. I can't thank them enough.
Most welcome.
Thank you.
On behalf of our amazing Public Works department. Thank you. Any other citizens to be heard? None. We're making Superintendent Dormer jealous. After 3 years on the school board, I can brag about that. Would anyone like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting this evening?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Supervisors Coleman and Cabanas. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.